Any questions about shadows, please? No questions because you're familiar with this technology. Okay, thank you very much. Again, this is a must for everybody, for every computer. There's no exclusion. Well, this about covering tracks, and let's go. Yes, to disable policy, clearing clocks. You know what? Let me give you one more suggestion. Yeah, I remember this. If you go to hack machine, if you go to security lock, right click it and select properties and figure out how small could it be, such as 1 kilobyte. And this is it. Okay, 64. No. Properties 1 megabyte, maybe 64 kilobytes. Too small. Okay, 1 megabyte. I'm happy. Because, what about this? Yeah, 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte. Okay, a little bit more. And then, if auditing is restored, recovered, or you cannot change audit because of the main group policies. What I did like here was isolated standalone machine. If there are domain policies affecting your PC, you cannot change policies, but you can change the size of the security log. Of course, if sysadmin has not specified it the other way. So make it small and flout it with bullshit. So it will be flouted quickly, and again, they will miss digital evidence of your attack. Countermeasures against covering tracks. Yeah, basically you need to design and activate audit logs on all systems, not necessarily critical. Let me try finding an example of my policy. This may take a second. I'm searching my documents for a policy of audits. Yeah, should be fine. I'm opening it. This is an example of how I configure group policies. You don't need to memorize this. This is the general idea that I have created a document which describes what should be enabled, what should not be enabled, and why, what's the reason. And when enabled, what specific events should be audited. That's one idea. What I also do in some companies, sometimes you need to have CM system or gray log or other event log monitoring system. Sometimes in companies, I do it very simple, straightforward. If an event appears in event log, event like this. So what I do, it's like on client machine, you go to task scheduler, you go to here and create new task, say event log, account log out, running under system. whatever higher privileges trigger, and trigger as on event. So you specify the log file, such as security log. You specify event ID. I don't remember which one specifically. And then you specify action. In action, typically I call PowerShell exe with my event trigger PS1, something like this. So this is also a good idea to have triggers on some events and not simply activate this group policy, design and activate this group policy on all machines, but also have triggers and send events to email, to Telegram channel, to some messages and so on. Make sure you have enough storage on your CM system so attacker cannot flout your CM system or gray log with bullshit. This one, let me rephrase this. In some companies, we had security auditor which has permissions to read security log. So he did it. Basically, that's it. Any questions so far, please? No? Okay, let's go to Trojans. Yeah, that's the classification of malware. Please learn how to distinguish between them. Because again, like crypto could be the part of malware infrastructure, but it's not the malware itself. Just an example. Let's try some Trojans, few Trojans, not viruses, but Trojans. Very simple thing. So please select your victims, and victim, the first victim is Windows 7. Go to Windows 7 as your victim. So, okay, I have prepared. Please log in as administrator to make sure you can install a virus. Okay, so eventually I have prepared my admin session. So this is Windows 7 admin. Tell me when ready. Ready? Okay. Ready? Ready. Okay. So let's do what? Are we going to, let me check, peer tools probably. Yes, please go to peer tools and let's begin with HTTP-RED. So just simply do what? Execute HTTP-RED, which is not a Trojan, but this is the compiler. Yeah. So what we have in this compiler, we don't need to send notification. This is it. So the idea of this compiler is to send messages to your email address and listen on port 80. Just simply web, no notifications, create. Okay. Now this one is actually a Trojan. This one is just a compiler. Okay, launch Trojan. And this is it. So this Trojan is running in memory as just a simple process, HTTP server exe. You could do what? Name it as Windows Update exe, or device devices XZ, or maybe system process XZ, or Explorer XZ, and so on. So social engineer a little bit is useful because you will see, or victim will see, this process in list of processes. Okay, so it's running. Now we're going to attacker machine. And on attacker machine, let's connect this Trojan from browser. So I'm going to Firefox, for example, and navigate to 172.20.07 as an example. Go. So I have the response from Trojan. I can check running processes, browse disks. What's on C drive? To perform basic operations such as create some file, delete, kill process, and so on. Any questions about this Trojan? It's very simple one. Does it work for you?
Yeah, it worked.
Okay, good. Let it stay. We will detect it someday. Let's test one more Trojan. Let it be ICMP backdoor. Yeah. So ICMP backdoor, where's it? ICMP Trojan. Drop it to run with switch. So ICMP server dash install. So you need to distinguish between the server, which is the victim part, and ICMP send, which is attacker client. So you run ICMP server dash install to install it as a service on the system. Just simply run it, and this is it. It's installed. Because the next step is to go to attacker machine and run Wireshark and sniff this traffic, because it's very specific traffic. So I'm going to Wireshark. I'm going to sniff Ethernet and filter ICMP. Tell me when ready, and we will go to connection.
Ready.
Ready.
Okay, good. So on attacker machine, you go to Peter Tools, you go to the course, you go to Trojans, ICMP Trojans, and execute ICMP send space IP address of the victim. It doesn't recognize host name, so 172.20.07. So just call it with the option of IP address. And then here, you can execute some command. Very simple command is PS, which stands for process list, or PS list maybe. You could also call for help. Something is not working for me. So what's the reason? Where's my filter? Where's my... Yeah, PS is not recognizable as command. Hostname, IP config. Something blocks this conversation, but you see it actually takes place. You see, I'm receiving this, but something on attacker's side stops me. It says timeout. Maybe you need to restart this once again. But basically, this is it. ICMP and IP address double equals victim machine. So I have some specific conversation, intelligent conversation here. Okay, I will try stop it and start again. No, something stops me from receiving responses. Does it work for you? No? Anyway, the best place to see it is Wireshark.
Apologize, I need to go now. We should have a break, and I have some meeting. So
All right.
I need to leave for now.
Thank you. Let's have a break. No problem. Hey guys, see you. Yeah.
No, sorry. I just wanted to ask, but it's fine. I can ask later.
You can ask right now because
Okay.
this is something simple.
Okay. Yeah, it is. How can I recognize that it was effective in Wireshark?
You just begin sniffing on attacker machine and filter ICMP, and you see intelligent messages in Wireshark in here. So I issue command hostname, and I receive the response CEHv13. I issue command like ipconfig, and that's the result. Maybe you could choose another attacker machine, like attack from Windows 8, and you will see.
I see it, but I wasn't sure if it's exactly that or not. So I see it that it's something intelligent or
okay, good.
It's related to that command that I've just used. So
okay,
it
good.
makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I see it's working for you. Not for me, but it works for you. So this is good. This is good. Okay, let's have a break. See you after the break. And continue with more Trojans.
Okay, see you.
See you.
Well, you okay?
Yeah.
Doing good?
Everything's good.
All right. Trojans. Yeah. Let's go with Trojans. That was ICMP Trojan, which utilizes ICMP cover channel instead of usual TCP or UDP maybe. So this Trojan utilizes ICMP. Next, one more example of Trojan. Let it be Trojan netcat. Netcat is important because netcat uses different types of transports and it's embedded into Metasploit. And you may have questions on exam about netcat switches. So my suggestion to pay attention to netcat. We will use it in a very simple way. Direct connection. So I will do it like this. Drag and drop netcat to start and configure a few switches. So I will listen for incoming connections on port 4444 TCP, transport TCP, and netcat only delivers, let's say, screen, text strings. So basically, you need something else behind netcat, such as execute CMD So netcat will deliver a picture of CMD So that's the command line. So please try it. At the same time, let's go to Kali. So attacker will be Kali for the simple reason. So Kali has netcat built in. So you could try it from Kali. And direct connection is very simple. Netcat, IP address of 172.20.07. Default port is 4444. Transport TCP. Just simply connect. Simply enter. And tell me if it works. So as you might see, this is CMD window running on victim machine. Tell me if it works. I'm waiting for your feedback.
Yeah, I got it.
And I've got connection refused.
Okay, double check if it's running on workstation like this, like I have on my machine. And double check if IP address and port number is correct ones.
Yes, for me also, connection refused.
I don't see it's running on the victim machine. So you're connecting to this computer, but netcat is not running.
And sorry, Peter, it works for me, but it was about bad IP address. Yeah, because I'm connecting to attacker PC, so different IP address.
I see. So netcat is not built into Windows, so you need to go to peer tools, Trojans. So it's here. Navigate to netcat and run it with parameters. Drop it to run. No, not simply double click, but drop it to run. Call run. It's here. Run. Go. Enter. Remove this one. Because, yeah. Drop it to run and add parameters. Add parameters. Space dash L capital. Space dash P small, P small, port 4444. Dash P space 4444. Space dash T TCP small. It could be case sensitive. Now just simply T TCP and then space dash E execute. E execute space CMD exit. So you now listening on incoming connections on port 4444 and executing CMD. Go. Okay, it's listening. Now go to Kali and try again. Now it works. So you missed that part that a victim should be running the server part of Trojan. Well, now something could be a little bit more complicated. This exercise we will try. So it's done with netcat. We don't need it anymore. Now let's check NGRAT. NGRAT is interesting in a way that it was quite popular bot. It connects to the bot owner, so you could control the whole botnet from a single command control center. You could control hundreds of computers. Please run this ngrat compiler, because this is not actually the Trojan is the control center. And then, okay, start and go to builder. In builder, you need to build a customized Trojan part for your victim. So host to be connected is attacker will be running on Windows attacker. So 172.20.10. So this is the attacker machine. Victim name, let it be hacked or whatever. XZ name and what directory to place at. Let it be temp, why not? So you program the bot to connect to command and control center. So this is CNC. And then build and deliver this bot to all of your victims. So for you to understand that server in terms of Trojans typically means Trojan part, victim part. Okay, but not in this case. This is going to be client connecting to command control center and exit. So once again, what did I do? I have launched on victim machine. I have launched command control center. I selected start and went to builder. In builder, I have specified the IP address of attacker machine, and this is it. Basically, you need to do this on attacker machine, of course. The question, you need to spend more time to deliver Trojan to your victims. In this case, I will just simply launch it, and this is it. So now the victim is infected. I will make a few copies to another victims as well. So let me go to CEHv13 $, and copy to C drive. What else? CH client $. Does it work? Should work. The firewall or something. No. Doesn't open. Oh yeah, because that was the protection from part of the hash attack. Okay, whatever. Let it be 10.20 212 C $, very the same password and so on. So one copy of Trojan currently is running on Windows 7. Drop it down. One more copy I will run on web. I have double-clicked. Yes, it's running. Just simply silently running. And one more copy I will launch on the main controller. Of course, I could do it with PSExec, just in case. But to make it a little bit more simpler, I'm doing it manually. Go. Okay, so 3 victims are infected. Now I'm going to attacker. On attacker machine, I'm going to Trojans. I'm going to ngRed. I'm going to ngRed, Command Control Center. Where am I? Admin. I'm admin. What's your problem? Because it says a smart screen prevented. I know. This is my favorite application. I want to run it. Okay, and start. Allow. All right, so I have launched the server part on attacker machine, and now I'm waiting for incoming connections. Okay, there are incoming connections from CEHv13, DC, and web. Maybe I will find something interesting. Right-click, remote desktop. Actually, it's not remote desktop. This is remote screen. Okay, I see what my victim is doing on the main controller. If my victim navigates to some folder and performs some actions, I see it with some delay, but I see it on my attacker machine. All right. What else can be done from the Trojan? Keylogger. Yeah. Webcam. Interesting. Let me check if this is going to work. Devices, webcams. Let's try this one. Not sure if this is going to work within virtualization. Not necessary to work with virtualization. Well, where's my computer management? Where's my webcam? Yeah, so webcam is installed, but I don't see it in here. Don't know why. Haven't tried. Okay, keylogger from victim machine. It's already working. So if my victim navigates to internet bank, such as www.bank.com, Let me check keylogger once again. Yes, www.bank.com. I see it in my command control window. This could be your homework to play around with ngRed. In my practical exam, I had a task to hack into a remote machine with ngRed to perform some specific tasks, to get files or something. Let me check if I can do it. Like, not this PC, not those files. No. Manager, maybe file manager. Yeah, I did it like that. So you could have remote shell, registry, and file manager. And this is an example how I did this exercise. I was tasked to steal credit card data, something like this, with ngRed. So, well, any questions so far, please? We have played around different types of Trojans, such as Trojan just simply utilizing web channel, ICMP channel, command line tool, which delivers another command line screen, and the ngRed, which is the botnet. The next task is to play with NetBus Trojan, but we will not run it just like simply. We will do what? We will glue two executables together. So please copy NetBus to your desktop on victim machine. You will see NetBus XZ is a command control center. Patch XZ is victim part. And we will add one more XZ again. So to do this, we need a few more exercises. In CH course, please copy to the same folder Advanced File Joiner, XZ, it's in the same peer tool CH course. Please copy Sways Crypto XZ and Tetris XZ. So you need to collect in a single folder Advanced File Joiner, Sways Crypto, Tetris, and NetBus from Trojans. Everything in a single folder. Tell me when ready. One is ready, okay.
Ready.
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 3 guys.
Ready.
4.
Where is CEHv13 in? Ja,
Sways Crypto.
sorry.
Yeah, let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
And the third is which one?
So Lazar is Sways Crypto, Advanced File Joiner, yeah, Joiner XZ. Good.
Okay.
Now let's run Joiner XZ to add two executables, one to another. Select file, patch XZ. So this is the Trojan part. So you select file and click add file. Patch XZ is the malware. Select one more file, Lazarus XZ, and also click add. So you need to see 2 files together here. Okay. Ready? Yes, no? Okay, good. Next, you could switch to another tab, such as anti-debugging, and check what is supported. We will not do anything about this. This is very old, outdated, but you see that File Joiner recognizes virtualization, sandboxing, debuggers, and sysinternals. I don't know what specifically it does against like virtualization. I don't know. So I will not do anything. So you go to compile files. You could select some picture from, say, CEHv13 DLL, maybe some funny picture, whatever. Not sure if this is going to work. Just simply select picture. This is it. Next is compression settings. As you might know, most of executables you launch in your system are zipped. Basically not zipped, but UPX'd. So UPX is real-time unzipper for executables. We will not do this right now to make sure that the new file accommodates both joint exes. But in general, to make it smaller, you could use UPX. Bind and drop it to the same folder, name it new supa dupa Tetris, Metris, Petris, something like this. New Tetris XZ. Uh-oh, I failed. Maybe because of icon, but it failed for me.
Same here.
Okay, I will remove new Super Tetris or something. Let me try it again. Joiner, select file, patch.exe, add, select file, Lazaris, add, and that's it. That's okay. Now compile files, bind files, drop to new Tetris.exe, save, still bad. Something stops it on 100 kilobytes. I will try again anyway. Say joiner, select file Tetris, and then patch. Yeah, this executable is very old and buggy. So Tetris and patch, compile, bind, super Tetris, save, still bad. All
Peter,
right. Yeah.
it works for me, but I don't know if it's that problem, but I don't have them in the same folder. So that's just the difference that I know. But it works for me. I don't know if it's correct or not.
The size of the file should be 500 plus 200 kilobytes.
Can check it.
But I will restart the system, just in case. Because
Yeah.
something
It's 783.
good. That's good.
Yeah, it works for me too. I have it in the same folder as Peter showed.
You could also use another system, printing system, if it doesn't work. I will try it once again. I'm just simply not afraid of fail. Stop. NetBus. Joiner. Select file. Lazaris. Add. Select file. Patch. Add. Compile. Bind. Test.exe. Whatever. Save. No, doesn't work. I will do it on Windows 8. Also good option. Just will copy all the files from Windows 7 to my desktop. Users, administrator, desktop. Copy paste. Joiner. Go. Tetris. Add. Patch. Add. Compile. Bind. Still something wrong. This is so stupid. Come on. It stops at 100 kilobytes for me. I don't know why. What else can be done to resolve this issue? One more try. Select file. Lazaris, execute. Yes, select file, patchxz, execute. Sometimes I saw that selecting icon could help. Like this. No compression. Bind files to the desktop. Test. No way. Something could be damaged in my joiner.exe. Maybe. I will recopy it, or maybe launch directly from that folder. It also happens. Select file. And go. And compile, bind. Test2.exe. You see, I have launched from tools directly and it works for me. So probably when copying, something wrong happened. But now I have this test.exe. Why not? And 783 kilobytes is okay. I hope you've managed to do this as well. How to test if this works? Just simply run it. Double click it on victim machine. Double click, you will see Tetris running. You could check task manager and you will see that patchxz and Lazaris.exe are running both in memory. So just simply glue together in the single executable. Now I'm going to email server 2003. Why? Because this Trojan is so old shit, so it will not run normally on a modern systems. But you can ask, like, why you have chosen the old bad Trojan? Because I know that it will not harm my system. That's why. So on mail server, I'm going to peer tools. I'm going to CH course. I'm going to Trojans, and specifically netbus.exe. So this is what I'm running on attacker machine. And I select, I type the IP address of my victim, 172.20.07, and click connect. And as you might see, I'm connected. And now let's play a few tricks. So screen dump is not as interesting, but this is possible just to see what's here. Keystrokes. So listen, you click listen, and what's interesting, you not only listening for typed text in real time, you could also inject something like hello, I have typed on a victim machine. Hello, I have typed on attacker machine. And so we type this text at the same time, both victim and attacker. Or say, I can execute some program. I can launch like, where's my start program? Start program, CMD.exe. And you see that CMD.exe was launched on Windows 7. Next, I can send some text to the CMD, such as net user, haxor, password 1, add, and enter. Okay, it's done. Send text such as net local group administrators, pass haxor, add, and vertical line to represent enter. And then exit vertical line to represent enter. And it's done. One more function, which is also interesting for me. It sounds interesting, like port redirection. So the Trojan will listen on port, say 123, and redirect this traffic to, say, 172.20.208 to port 3389. So how it looks like, I will connect from attacker to Windows 7 via RDP to port 123, but victim will forward this traffic to the main controller. So I'm just simply enabling this pivoting of attack. And next, I connect to CEHv13 to port 123 because it's listening on port 123. Trying to connect. Okay. Yes, because DNS is not in effect in here, so 172.20.7.123. And yes, I have connected to Windows Server 2008 via pivoting. Any questions about this, please? Is everything clear? Or maybe some questions, please. There is nothing what you will be asked on exam. This is just a little practice how to work with Trojans, how to spy on user, how to utilize a remote PC for further attacks. Nope, no questions. All right, this is up to you. The next question is, all right, I understand that this Trojan is very old and probably all the antiviruses already recognize it. So let me show you if this is true or not. So I will check once again the Windows 7 netbus folder test2.exe, copy to my desktop and deliver it to virustotal.com. Considering it will work with older browser. If not, I will just simply install new browser. Yeah, probably I need to install new browser. Okay, I'm going to Peter Tools, Prerequisites, and let it be like Firefox, something like this. Yeah, I do. Custom. I don't need updates. No. Okay, I'm going to virustotal.com. Good. I will open 2 pages because I will test my Trojan using 2 different techniques. Yeah, it may take some minutes before VirusTotal opens. I suppose. I hope. Well, it takes some time. Maybe I will switch. I'll do what? I'll switch to the physical network to avoid limitations of MikroTik, unlicensed MikroTik. So bridged adapter. Okay. Checking my IP address. Yes, okay. Going to VirusTotal.com. Not okay. Not opening. Oh my gosh. Right. Let me install some newer Firefox. Checking VirusTotal.com. So something else is wrong, probably. All right, not doing good. Not doing good. Internal LAN. Maybe it will work from web. Because I was testing before. What was that virtual machine? Web or SQL? Oh yes, that's SQL. I will get my executable from victim machine to 2007 $C to SQL. Users administrator desktop netbus test2exe dropped to my desktop. I said drop it to my desktop. Cancel. Cannot copy. Something stops me from copying. Come on. Thank you, Microsoft and virtualization. One more attempt, just in case it's going to work. Copy, paste. Maybe this is Defender, that's why he doesn't want to copy Trojan to my machine. No, doesn't open. Okay, let's give it a chance. So I will upload exe back. Choose file from my desktop. Test2exe. And that's the result that, as you might see, this Trojan is being detected like at good percentage on VirusTotal.com. Now one more tap of VirusTotal.com, and let me prepare for this. I will use crypto to encrypt the content of my Trojan. So I select test2 I will not change icon, anything. Obfuscation, yes. Encryption, yes. And let it be crypted file exe whatever. So now it creates much bigger but obfuscated and encrypted version of this file. So now it takes 2 megabytes. So let me check if VirusTotal will be able to recognize a Trojan in this file. The functionality of file is very the same because this is the same Trojan together with Tetris. Everything the same. Confirm. So by this, I would like to show you the functionality of crypto, why cryptors are important. All right. Since this is a very new file, so that's why it's analyzing it. Well, I think this is quite good result comparing unencrypted version. Show me. Okay, like this. So encrypted version, the detection ratio was 63 out of 72 antiviruses. Encrypted version goes to 37 detection ratio, so drops by half. So if you use multiple techniques to encrypt or obfuscate the virus, the Trojan, even 25 years old Trojan still not recognized by half of antivirus systems. So again, the purpose of this demo was to show you that crypting like this Swiss crypto is useful to avoid detection by antivirus. So this is it with this exercise. Let's go to the next part, ransomware. Let me show you one more trick, how to trick user into running this file. This is totally new exercise. Please go to Windows Victim. Please go to Peter Tools. CH course. Let me double check if I have this. No, not here. Not CH course. Please go to prerequisites and install WinRAR 420. This one. So this is located in Peer Tools prerequisites. Just simply install and do nothing. Okay, it's done. That's the first step. Just simply install WinRAR from prerequisites of Peer Tools. Second step, please go to Peer Tools, navigate to Unicode exploit, take some of the exes, whatever, like I will take this one, Splash Skull. And let's create new folder and organize few files in this folder, such as report, and drop this skull into report. You could also rename it to report.exe. So that's the desired result. You have a report folder on your desktop and report.exe in this folder, which was taken from Unicode exploit folder. Tell me when ready.
Ready.
Yeah,
Good.
ready.
So right-click this exe, add to archive, and create zip. Not rar, create zip. Go. If you double-click this file, you will see that exe is embedded. Okay, good. By the way, I totally forgot to tell you about this part. How did I do this one? I have downloaded, I have Googled and downloaded Word icon from the internet. And this is my executable compiled just manually. And if you check, you will see a resource hacker application in my tools. This application designed to change so-called resources in DLLs, executables, so you could change parts of dialogues, icons, buttons, and I have replaced icon in my exe by using resource hacker. This could be your homework. It's not necessary for exam. So this is just something to make it more trustworthy, especially if users do not have extensions enabled by default. So how do you know if this is executable or a document? Annual report 2025. The only thing is here application, but users do not pay attention. They just simply see Word icon, report, let's go. So in this rar, in this zip file in rar, it's not that good. So we need to patch it. Let me show you how to patch this file to display doc. So that's why this is the separate folder. Let me show you it completely, and then you will have a chance to repeat. Right-click report, far here. Then I go to zip file and edit it. Then I go to the very end, control page down. I select insert mode on my keyboard, insert, and replace exe with doc. And then save file and exit. So now let me repeat once again. I have right-clicked folder, selected far, because I just simply daily use it. Select zip, select edit, F4, go to the very end of the file, which page down or control page down, click here, select insert mode on the keyboard, and replace exe with doc. Do not touch anything else. Save and quit. And now, when you open the zip file, you will see the totally different picture. You could have a try. Tell me if it works for you. Yeah, good.
It works.
Question, does it open a document if you double click?
Probably not.
Probably not. No. Okay, let me double click. If you got tricked, so you press Shift Alt B, or just call Task Manager on that victim machine, press Start, and you will be able to close this exe. This is a small exe, just simply displaying a picture. It does nothing. It's not a Trojan. Trust me, I'm not lying. Yeah, so. And the question is, how actually this attack works? let me explain. WinRAR 4 version 4 displays names in a specific way. If you go to this zip file, if you modify the zip file, this is the very beginning of a file. You will see that this is kzip, so this is the format of zip, and you may find report .exe directly in here at the beginning of the file. There is the catalog of zipped files, and those are real names, real extractable name. If you go to the very end of the file, very end, you will see here a catalog of a zip. Catalog to be displayed. So WinRAR presents you the catalog in here, and that's why it shows you doc, and it takes an icon not from the file. It takes the icon from associations of the operating system. So this icon is the actual one, legitimate one, because WinRAR has requested this icon for doc extension. And this doc is just simply a text in catalog. But when you unzip, it unzips everything based on their real names in this catalog. So this is known vulnerability in this specific RAR version. And this is also how zip format is built. That was easy, I think. Very simple thing. Let me show you one more type of attack, Unicode based. So, like if you rename some file, like netbus to rename to something, if you right click, you see you could specify right to left reading order, okay, A, B, oh no, right to left reading order. Okay, let me try. A, B, C, D, E. Right to left reading order. No, it doesn't work like from here. But anyway, you could insert specific Unicode characters, such as start of right to left override. Let me try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see what I'm typing? Let me do it once again. 1, 2, oh no. Right click, insert, right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's typing text from right to the left. And if you do it like exz.abc, okay, CBA. So the file looks like abc.exe, but if you select show Unicode characters, where is it? It doesn't show me. Okay. Anyway, I have renamed. Let's check in FAR. Look at this. That's the real folder name. And this trick, I have utilized part of Metasploit Ruby language to rename my files to something interesting. Let me show you. So if you go to Peter Tools, if you go to Unicode USB, Unicode exploit USB, so please look at those files. What you can tell me about those files?
Two documents and one application.
That's correct. So if you rename doc, rename, you will see that there's the name and this is the extension. That's why it's doc. If you rename the last one, right click, rename, you will see that extension is bound it's embedded in the middle of the text. And now you know why. Let's see it in Farm Manager. I will show you. And this is how it looks like in Farm Manager. So I've typed this part from the right to the left and this one from the left to the right. And I have injected 2 Unicode characters. Right to left and left to right. And this is XZ. Yeah, that's XZ. And this is it. Your files are encrypted. And the command which I have used for this, I have saved it for future reference, is this. So I have created, this is in Latvian language, and it states that the screen of National Tax Service objection and the post index, post address. So when you receive this document that you have some objection from National Tax Service, you will open this document. That's the idea. Or say, what else I have tried to do this, executive. I don't see an example in here what I did, like CV, oh, yeah. CV, Alexei Ivanov. .docx. Or maybe Alexei Ivanov. .doc. As you might see, this part contains .xz in the middle. So you could create this by using 2 specific Unicode characters, like I did. Sorry, misclicked, and it's gone. Yeah, now it's done. So any questions about this? Both attacks exist in Metasploit. Unicode attack and the RAR attack exist in Metasploit. I just simply try to explain you how it works, like without any additional tools, how you can do it manually without compiling anything in Metasploit. And we go to the next module. Next. I haven't used this one, so this is your home reading. We will not. Yeah.
Can I have a question to the Unicode? Is it patched in the newer versions of Windows, or is it still the thing?
Let's go. The latest version is Windows 11 in here, or on my physical desktop. But basically, no, it's not, because there is no security hole. The latest is SQL 2016. Let's check via 2016. So peer tools, Unicode exploit, and you see.
Oh,
the only issue I have that I embed this icon manually for each new version of this docx. So you need to know what specific version of Word they have on their computer. So you need to embed this specific icon by using resource hacker. On this SQL Server, we don't have Word installed. That's why you see this difference in icons, because of this. So I cannot target specific Word version, non-specific version of Word, unfortunately. But this also works, basically. I have tested against our Office employees. It works very good. If you drop it on the USB stick somewhere, and ask office secretary, look at this, someone has lost the USB key. They try to connect USB key and check, oh yeah, this is some document. Oh, like a yearly report or monthly report of salaries, finances, double click and receive a surprise. So it works.
Okay, thank you.
Next. So let's go to the next module probably. I'm scrolling to, I'm scrolling to countermeasures. We will not analyze malware because you need to have assembly language skills. I don't know if you have ever programmed on assembly language. This is not as simple. Okay, maybe this one. You need to know about this part. Besides this assembly, you could also know some specific commands which show you what's going on in your system. Just for example, this Windows 7, I have infected on purpose with multiple Trojans. That's why I can try searching for Trojans running on this machine. So first very simple thing in CMD, let's check for open ports. Netstat, it has a lot of parameters. Typical set of parameters I utilize ANO. So netstat-ANO, and look at this. So what do you see interesting in here? Such as RDP, yes, okay. And this one is suspicious because this is not anything standard. And you see the process ID. And this is NetBus. You know this is NetBus. Or say this one, 123. This is not NTP server. No. This is just a workstation. But some process is listening on this port. Actually, yeah, sorry. The Trojan listens on port TCP, not UDP. And yeah, this is the same Trojan NetBus. What else? What is my port 80? I want my port 80. I don't see. Oh, because I have rebooted the system. I'm sorry. So let me go to peer tools once again, CH course Trojans. And where is my HTTP RAT? And where is my NGRAT? Because I don't see port 555 here. Oh no, it connects to port 5555. So you will not see the open port in this case because NGRAT does not listen on any port. It connects to attacker machine. But anyway, now I see port 80 on my victim machine, and this is not something which should run on my workstation. Workstation never provide web services like this. So suspicious ports. Next, sysinternals. If you go to sysinternals and sysinternals and say check TCP view. TCP view on a 32-bit version, agree. You may see activities in real time. But again, let's get back to a book of sysinternals tools. It's a good idea to read this book. But in this TCP view, I see that I have outgoing connection established, which is a little bit different than incoming connections. Because, say, PACHIC-Z is listening on port 12345, and it has incoming connection from attacker machine, yeah. But this one is outgoing connection. Also suspicious activity. I just simply know that server XZ never exists on the system. Patch XZ, establishing connection, this is something out of my mind. So you could monitor ports from command line and from GUI interface in real time. Next, autoruns. So I don't expect this to be working. Let me check. Autoruns XZ, agree. Yeah, it works. It works because this is older version, so it runs on Windows 7. Autoruns now collects information on everything which is launched automatically on this PC. You need to wait a little bit, and then you will have a quite good result. It's still initializing, still searching, and so on. That's not all. I still expect more to come. Good. I see quite good result. Still scanning. Even more good results. Okay, I will describe you everything. Still scanning. Ready. Okay, now let me explain what was found starting automatically in my computer. So you could remove Microsoft entries, you could remove verified entries. You could also submit some samples to VirusTotal to make sure that this specific patch XZ is not a virus. Okay, now I have removed Microsoft entries from the list, and let me explain red entries. As you might see, this one is server XZ running from temp. This is very bad. And it's not verified. You could call properties of this process and we will figure out that this is a Trojan. Patch XZ from C Windows. We probably know that this is NetBus. And WinRAR, yes. Anti-kernel in services. This is also like, I never heard of service called anti-kernel. If I go to computer management, like computer manage, if I go to services, anti-kernel looks really, really bad. Like there is no description. The name is not descriptive as well. And there is something strange. If you select properties and figure out what is this, you will see that this is something non-natural. So you could disable this service and see what will happen upon reboot. You could disable this one, and see what will happen. And one more red entry is here. What could this be? Let me show you a screenshot, which I have saved when installing Keylogger. And this is Keylogger, which is initialized via this DLL, and I suppose this is a rootkit module. So the keylogger itself is here, and this one is a rootkit. And every time it generates new names. By the way, when you install on your PC, names should be different. So by using autoruns, I have discovered at least 4 Trojans in my machine, such as server XZ, patch XZ, Antios kernel, and this DLL. And then you can send it to virus total and see if this is good or bad. So this is about dynamic malware analysis. Countermeasures. So let's discuss countermeasures. Email attachments. As you might know, they can embed the Trojan even in PDF. So yes, as usually, email still the most popular attack vector from outside. This one is a must. If you don't use, for example, on email server, you have ports 80, 443, POP, IMAP, SMTP. If POP is not in use, do not open this port. This one is very important. Do not use untrusted source. Backup is a totally separate rocket science, actually, and totally separate topic. Typically, I perform 3 types of backups: local backup for quick access, network backup for additional protection from physical damages, and offline backup to a tape. In many companies, we save data to tapes. In some companies, to hard disks, to removable hard disks. So you need to establish a schedule and save your backups to hard disks and disconnect them. So in case you got encrypted, the offline backup is the only way to recover. The countermeasure, which was previously mentioned, is application whitelisting. Let me show you how to configure application whitelisting and how to maintain it. Please go to victim machine, log in as admin, and launch GPA8MSC. Go.
Already.
1,
Ready.
2, 3. Okay, good. So an idea of application whitelisting is to only allow listed applications. Everything else should be blocked by default. In general, there are 2 approaches for security, which is called blacklisting and whitelisting. When you configure firewall, firewalls typically use whitelisting, such as you specify what traffic is allowed and everything else is blocked. If you configure ACLs, such as DACLs, they also work with whitelisting concept. If you are not listed in access control list, you do not have access. If your type of access is not listed, the access will be denied. In contrast, antiviruses work with blacklisting concept. It's antiviruses. So when you run some executable on your computer, antivirus tries to find something bad. If this something bad is not found, you are allowed to run this exe or PowerShell script or whatever executable. So this concept may not work well. It allows you some freedom. Yeah, it provides you some freedom, but it never makes you secure. So whitelisting could be enabled by using specific group policies in Microsoft Windows. Those specific policies are software restriction policies, app blocker, Windows Defender application control, and other techniques. Could be additional software which utilizes those group policies. Let me describe very simple group policy, but it's very effective. Software restriction policies. By default, it's empty, so everything could be run. Right-click New Policies, and then you could configure them. And the first thing to configure is this. Right-click Disallowed, set as default. So from now on, all this software is blocked. Nothing else is allowed. And you need to specify what specific programs you are allowed to run on your machine. This sounds quite complicated, but it's not that bad. If you go to additional rules, so you remove this one and create new path rules. Right click, new path rule, such as, do you have some safe folders on your PC? Yes, you do, such as C Windows. Typically is safe folder to run software from, and it could be unrestricted. Or say program files, right click, new path rule, browse, go to computers, see program files. Also unrestricted. Just make sure you specify unrestricted level. You may have two program files folders, such as program files x86. It also be unrestricted. So again, a list of actions was quite simple. I have enabled policy. I have created new empty policy. Then I went to levels and selected everything is disallowed. Then I have added something to allowed. Actually, there could be more folders specified as allowed, such as file server repository, because it's safe to run software from. Or say the main controller, such as CHDC/netlogon. Could also be the safe folder to run scripts from. This could be some specific folder on your local desk, such as C, safe program, or line of business application. So you don't need to overthink this. But if you run Trojans, they typically run from temp folder, application data, from the root of the drive, of USB stick, and so on. So one more thing to be configured. In the root of software restriction policies, enforcement. Typically, I assign very strict mode that all software files should be analyzed and restricted for all users. This could be challenging for beginners because some programs drop DLLs into temp. But as you might see, based on keylogger is initialized from DLL. That's why I'm afraid of DLLs, and I restrict all software files. Let me show you one more example of a virus. Yeah, already blocked because I have not rebooted for the first time. I will show it on client machine. So in my tools, I have examples of real viruses and folder virus, such as, for example, this one. I like this one. How do I check it? Extract. Extract. What is your problem? Extract. It's damaged, probably. Oh, I know why. Because of the desktop. Because that's secured. Extract. What is this? Empty. Yeah, it's damaged by antivirus. But okay, I will try anyway. All right. That was an example with dropper. This is not what I wanted to see, actually. Extract, extract. No, unable. Not in this machine. Probably this machine already destroyed the virus. But okay, let me describe the idea. On USB stick, you have this link file, which points to the same USB stick. I'm trying to figure out how to get exactly this link file. Maybe I can extract this file. No, it's blocked. Oh no, got it. So look at this shortcut. This is authentic virus, by the way. So it calls run DLL32 with specific parameters, such as it calls this file. This is DLL file. If you check this file, you will see that this is executable. It's clearly seen in there. This is executable. Then it has a key. I don't know how this key is utilized, but it has this key together. So it executes this DLL and utilizes the key to decrypt some part of this DLL. Anyway, as you might see, some viruses could be deployed by calling run DLL32 and calling DLL file from here. So that's why I always like overthinking about DLLs. Talking about this, I think admins are the most dangerous users on the system. That's why I protect all users. And one more fix, quick fix. If you go to designated file types, you will see most of files processed by group policy. I remove LNK because it's quite hard to describe all LNKs on users' desktops. But there are more files, such as PowerShell scripts, which are also the subject to SRP policy. Okay, anyway, I have created a new policy. I have set this allowed as default. I have configured new rules. I can take hash of some executables if I want. This is not hard. You just select executable on your desktop and say, yeah, take this hash. And this is it, like this one. Hash is calculated, so this exe will be allowed. I have configured enforcement, all files, all users, removed LNK, and now reboot. I need the first restart for policy to become into effect. Okay, I'm in. Let me log in. No activation, go away. So now I'm under policies. Let me check if everything works. Dude, it works. It's launched. Browser, it works. Microsoft Office, say Excel, it works. It works good. Something dropped to my desktop. Desktop is illegal path. It's not allowed to drop executables on the desktop. Double click. It's blocked. So this executable will not run because it's placed on the desktop, which is not allowed in group policy. Trojan. I will show you the log file of group policies. I have disabled them. Okay, I will try Trojan from temp folder. It was Lazarus XZ from temp. It's blocked. Patch XZ. It's blocked because temp is illegal path. Okay, zipped file. I go to report. Report XZ is blocked. Report zip. Zipped. It's not running. Just simply unzipping. So all of my legitimate software works. All illegal software, such as Trojans, doesn't work. And if I go to computer management and check my event viewer application, I will see some messages that Trojans were not working. Like this one, unwanted software. This is a Trojan. This is a Trojan. This is a Trojan. And unzipped from RAR executable, which was attached to my email, also doesn't work, doesn't launch. So in general, application whitelisting is not as hard to be enabled, but you need some experience. And the most significant shift is cultural shift, because in case you just get used to drop executables to your desktop, this will not work. You need to install the software in order, like to program files, to specific specific allowed folders and so on. To Windows folder, you need to have admin privileges, yes, but users will not be able to download portable Chrome and run it. And this is good, because in enterprise, running portable application should be denied, should be blocked. It's illegal. Any questions so far, please? If no questions, we will go to hacking whitelisting. Again, my point of view is that all the computers must be protected with whitelisting with no any exclusion. All the PCs. Because whitelisting never tries to figure out if this is virus or not. I don't care if this is a virus. This is unwanted software. Just stop it, and this is it. Well, hacking whitelisting. If we talk about this whitelisting, the configuration is kept in registry. So if you go to regedit, if you go to software policies, Microsoft, Windows CEHv, this technology is called CEHv. If you go to code identifiers, you will see the configuration of this group policy. And you will see allowed hashes, allowed paths here. So, okay, I see that, for example, CEHv program is allowed. Okay, good. Domain controller net logon allows C Windows, C program files, file server, and does this folder exist on the system? Let me check. So I'm going to C drive. I'm going to, this folder does not exist. So malicious user can read the group policy and create missing folders such as CEHv program. If I was a limited user, I'm switching to Peter. So Peter, password 1. I am a malicious user. I can go and create safe software, program files, safe software folder. I can drop some executable into this folder. Save program. Was it save program? I don't remember. Yes, it works. It's launched. So I have created missing folder, and this is it. I cannot launch this program from my desktop, but I can do it from save program because I have read the policy and I know this folder was missing. So policy misconfiguration and DACL misconfiguration lead to hacking. One more way to overcome application whitelisting is scripting. If I go to my tools, Peter Tools, sort restriction policies, circumventing SRP, let it be this one. Enable content. As you might see, macros are disabled. Enable macro. And look at this, what happened. An additional DLL was executed when I have enabled macros. If I relog on, I will face the same Trojan running on my system. It's here because it was saved into registry. Let's see what was so bad in macros. View, macro, edit. And this is it. So I have defined the variable calcxz and executed via shell. So calc was executed. Okay, good. Then I have defined one more variable program path and executed it with switches. So I have added execution of my Trojan to current user, current version run. And this could be done in macros. This could be done in PowerShell scripts. So you need to be careful with this. But in general, application whitelisting is quite safe technology. You need to just learn how to work with that. And it will save you from a lot of Trojans, a lot of viruses. But it's not the panacea, because malicious user can read the state of the policy, and that's not even it. As you might remember, if you go to CWindows10, you can copy some executable, copy patchxz to CWindows10, patchxz, and then execute it from CWindows10, because CWindows is defined in group policy as safe folder, but users have permissions to drop files to temp, to Windows temp. So that's the vulnerability built into Windows, which quite hard to get fixed. Any questions so far, please? All right. Let me check what is the next module, and let's have a break. Coffee break is okay? Okay, see you 3:30.
Okay.
I see you're a little bit relaxed. Like end of the day or what? We are at the very beginning of everything, probably.
Not so relaxed, more tired.
Tired. Yeah, could be like that as well. Tired. But this is day 3 only, so no reason to get tired. All right, so let's move on to sniffing. You all right? No? All right, we move to sniffing anyway. And let me describe the concept of what's going on, how it's going on, and how the packet sniffer works. Yes, there could be 2 types of sniffing, passive and active. To get to passive, this is not as simple. Active sniffing, this is what we're going to do today. And from all of this, we will perform several attacks, several sniffing attacks. And yeah, please pay attention to this slide. They may ask you about span port. Say, could it be that your router or switch may have a dedicated span port or IDS port, and all of the traffic from all the ports is copied to this port? So how actually the switch works? So say you have 2 switches. Say you have few clients on those switches, and let's be like this one, maybe some server as well, and one more workstation or whatever. So you have Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, and maybe attacker hacker somewhere in the middle. So switch has some ports, switch ports, say 8 ports in here. Is it 8? 8 and a few ports in here. That's enough. I'm too lazy to draw all the ports. So there is some uplink between switches. Clients are connected to ports in some sequence, maybe like this. Also could be good. When alpha generates some traffic, produces some traffic, so issues frames. So it's not about packets, it's about frames. And those frames are recognized by switch. And switch has so-called MAC table or CAM table. Could be MAC, could be CAM table. And it saves this information, like on port 1, there is MAC alpha connected. If Bravo produces some traffic, not listens, but produces some traffic, so it may save somewhere that port 2 has MAC Bravo connected. And in case Charlie and Delta produce some traffic, it may mark somewhere that port A has MAC Charlie and MAC Delta connected. Charlie Delta, yeah. This is to show you that it's not necessary to bind one single MAC address to a single port. Not necessary. It could be a lot of IP addresses bound to a single port. This is normal. And when alpha sends a frame destined to machine Bravo, to MAC Bravo, this switch creates so-called virtual circuit between, it's port 4, sorry, between the first and the fourth port, and only redirects traffic to this port. So all other ports are not receiving this traffic. When Bravo responds back, so traffic from Bravo reaches port alpha in the same way. So it still uses dedicated virtual circuit, and the other ports are not receiving those frames. However, there are situations when other ports also receive those frames. First is broadcasts. So when you send unicasts, when you send broadcasts, so when alpha announces some broadcast which destined to MAC address FFFFFF, switch performs flooding. So it forwards this frame to all ports with exception of the originating port. And possibly it will be deployed like this as well. So switch forwards broadcasts to all ports. If we talk about unicasts, say alpha announces frame to computer with MAC address Foxtrot. This computer is not registered somewhere in this MAC table. So switch never knows which port actually has Foxtrot connected. So in this situation, unicast will also be sent to all ports, and port flooding will be performed. In other situations, computers can communicate by using their dedicated virtual circuits, and this is it. By this, you can have 1 gigabit from alpha to Bravo, 1 gigabit from Bravo to alpha, 1 gigabit in parallel from Charlie to Delta and back. So switch should present some significant processing power. If this is, say, 48 port switch, gigabit switch, so it should provide 86 gigabit capacity and also include the additional port filtering and MAC filtering. So with additional, say, processing power, let me double it. So the CPU must process up to 200 gigabit a second. But this is like top level enterprise switch. Normal cheap switches could be flooded with few gigabits and just simply die. So when I tried an attack such as MAC flooding by using MAC off command, MAC off, this command exists in Kali. It flood switch with outgoing frames with random sender MAC addresses. So this CAM table will be overwritten. So it will be filled with random addresses and just simply dropped. What I have achieved with Cisco, it just simply, it handles it in the best way. So nothing bad happens. For chip D-Link, TP-Link, they just simply die and need to be rebooted physically after MAC off attack. So I don't know. I don't think MAC flooding attack works, but let me describe which specific attack really works. Well, when alpha performs connection to Bravo by IP address, as you might remember, computers do not communicate by using IP addresses. They communicate by using MAC addresses. So ERP protocol should be utilized, and alpha announces who has IP Bravo, tell IP alpha. And this is the broadcast. Broadcast from Ethernet point of view. So the MAC destination MAC address equals ff. It's not the broadcast from IP point of view. And hacker may intercept this because hacker receives this announcement. Hacker responds, I am IP Bravo MAC hacker. And then Alpha builds a frame. As you might remember, the structure of frame is destination MAC, 6 bytes, source MAC, 6 bytes, type length, and encapsulated payload, and frame checksum. So Alpha builds the frame, destination MAC, MAC hacker, source MAC, MAC Alpha, type 800 hexadecimal, which stands for CEHv13, and then some packet such as ICMP ping. And this could be ICMP echo request from IP Alpha, destination IP Bravo, ICMP echo request. But you see, the destination is MAC hacker. And hacker takes this frame, then Alpha, not Alpha, hacker. Hacker also knows the MAC address of Bravo. So Alpha, take my frame. Hacker accepts this frame, copy frame to memory, and then forward frame to MAC Bravo. So this frame will be retransmitted to Bravo. On IP level, everything is unchanged. Nothing is changed. So Alpha sends packet to Bravo, and Bravo receives the packet. But hacker receives a copy of this frame. When Bravo responds back, Bravo also needs to perform ERP resolution. So Bravo announces who has IP Alpha, tell IP Bravo. And then hacker announces, I am IP Alpha MAC hacker. And Bravo says, take my frame. And this happens like this. Bravo forwards this frame to hacker. Hacker makes a copy of frame and forwards this frame to MAC Alpha. And again, from IP version 4 point of view, nothing got interrupted, nothing got changed. Only MAC addresses, which is Ethernet level, but IP, nothing knows about this.
Feature question, and when it starts and the Alpha asks who has the IP of Bravo, Bravo also respond, or?
Yes, because the situation is a little bit different. You will see this in Wireshark. Actually, when you perform ERP spoofing, it happens in a little different way. In ERP spoofing, you announce time to time so-called gracious ERP. You just simply announce to everybody, hi, I am IP Bravo MAC hacker. So you will see this from Wireshark. Yeah, Bravo may respond, but hacker re-announces this time to time, like with gracious ERP. So it basically floats Alpha and Bravo with faked records, fake ERP records. Yeah. That's a little bit simplified, but this is how it works. Talking about span port, you could program your switch to forward some frames destined to specific ports to make a copy to span port. IDS port should receive all the traffic from all the ports. Basically, I never saw this in physical configuration. I saw it in a programmatic way. So switches we work with have capabilities of spanning. Yeah. So I can program, like, take this port and all the frames sent to this port. And that's even worse, a little bit more complicated. You also need to know what is promiscuous mode. So network card, promiscuous mode. Typically, it works on hardware level. So when some frame arrives, the destination MAC is checked. Because network card knows its MAC. If it's destined this MAC address, the packet is delivered to operating system. If this is the broadcast, the packet is delivered to operating system. I don't remember if they have unicast multicast in Ethernet, but basically multicast on IP addresses, yeah, it is. So basically, I think it should be provided with broadcasts on MAC. So let's mark 3 types of traffic: unicast, broadcast, and multicast. Multicast is when you believe you belong to some specific group of computers, and it should be the specific address which you recognize as part of this group, and you take this packet. Like when you deploy operating system via Windows deployment server, you must deploy to 100 PCs. It could be done via multicast to all ports simultaneously. So network card is designed in a way to accept unicasts destined to this MAC card, and this is it. So if it's not destined to this PC, the frame should be dropped. If you switch network card to promiscuous mode, it accepts all the frames, just simply all the frames, and deliver to applications such as Sniffer. If you check virtualization, if you go to, say, mesh and settings within VirtualBox, if you go to network, you will see that promiscuous mode is denied in virtual machine properties. And this is quite confusing because beginning version 7 of Oracle, I receive all the frames. This is bad. This is not how it should be. But I'm listening the network and I receive everything. If you switch to allow virtual machines, okay, then technically your Wireshark should work well and sniff all the traffic from the network. So this is, I'm telling this just to pay attention on this mode in here. So promiscuous mode is designed to sniff traffic. In case some network card is switched to promiscuous mode, this is suspicious. If this is not you, not your network admin, this is suspicious. This should not be like that. But in virtualization here, it's broken, I think. You could try VMware, Hyper-V, maybe you will see. In virtualization with Oracle version 7 is broken. Okay. The general idea that on exam, they may ask you, what is this? Next, MAC flooding. As I told you, it never worked for me. I don't believe this could be like it's depicted in here, like you duplicate MAC addresses. I don't think it works. It never worked for me. Countermeasures against simple attacks against switch, port security, switch port security command on Cisco's. So you enable port security, you specify how many different MACs could exist on this port and what to do when MAC address is changed. So MAC flooding will not work. For example, this option tells switch to just simply ignore incoming frames from unlisted MAC addresses. DHCP. Yeah, this could be quite important thing, which I could not reproduce with the latest Kali. Let me explain the idea. There's the network, there's the DHCP server. There's the client who wants to receive IP address from the DHCP server. And this could be faked or rogue DHCP server. In normal situation, normally, so alpha generates the broadcast, DHCP broadcast, which is called DHCP discover. In case DHCP server has something to offer, it generates the broadcast with DHCP offer. Then alpha may have received multiple offers from multiple servers, because this is based on broadcasts and there is no any security. Just if you insert your home switch into this network, your home router DHCP may flood the network and kill the network with fake IP address assignments. So anyway, the client chooses one of the offers and requests this specific offer. And then the DHCP server replies back with acknowledge. So this sequence is called DORA. There is also more packets, at least 8 types of packets, such as release to free up IP address. Time to time, alpha repeats this sequence. By the half of the DHCP release time, it repeats request, acknowledge, request, acknowledge. And also sometimes the DHCP server, based on configuration, may respond back not acknowledge, and alpha will drop the current IP address and restart the process. So rogue DHCP may offer maliciously crafted IP assignments. What is so malicious? It's like when you receive DHCP lease from the DHCP server, you also may be assigned options such as gateway, DNS, DNS domain, routes, and so on. This could be delivered via DHCP offer and acknowledge. Rogue DHCP may supply you some rogue DNS and perform faked DNS resolution on its own fake DNS server. It may also supply you with faked gateway, and you will forward your packets to fake gateway, and then those packets will be forwarded to real gateway, but fake gateway may receive a copy of all packets. So rogue DNS, gateway, maybe some routes, and so on. But DHCP starvation attack targets DHCP server, not the client. In DHCP starvation, rogue DHCP produces multiple discovers and requests, multiple, and legitimate DHCP replies with multiple offers until it got exhausted and all possible IP addresses were delivered to rogue DHCP. And then legitimate DHCP has nothing to tell anymore, has nothing to offer to client, and will keep silence. So starvation attack destines legitimate DHCP server with the purpose to exhaust all the resources. And then rogue DHCP can freely offer its own offers. So attacker sends a lot of fake DHCP requests until it runs out of IP space. I've tried this with Recinia, and this is exactly as you see on the screen. Yeah, it produces hundreds, thousands of discovers, but never requests. But so the HTTP server is not exhausted. So I don't know what stopped working. There was so good script, DHC pig. It was so good. It was exhausting the HTTP server in seconds. But now it doesn't work because of this one, because of dependency hell. So if you find the way to run the script, please tell me. Maybe Metasploit will help me. I don't know. Configuring Cisco IOs is one of possible countermeasures. DHCP snooping provides configuration so untrusted ports cannot provide DHCP offers to clients. So that's about DHCP snooping. Basically, this is basic Cisco stuff. There's nothing very special about this. Why it's not working in many companies? For plenty of reasons. First, you need a dedicated network specialist to control multiple switches, to program switches. If you have hundreds of switches, this is a full-time job. Some companies cannot hire a dedicated professional for this. Next, because of shortcuts, sometimes network admins being overloaded, performing multiple tasks on their job position, they just simply, okay, I will do it later. Oh yeah, I need to reconfigure. Let me relax security. Okay, I will reconfigure later, and so on. And sometimes companies cannot afford expensive switches. So they buy cheap switches, and cheap switches are not as manageable. So that's why attacks are successful. ERP poisoning could be executed
Peter?
on, yeah.
Can I ask? What about MikroTik and DHCP snooping, DHCP snooping and so on?
This is a good question because I only run DHCP on Windows servers for a specific reason. Because in Active Directory, the two DHCP servers are able to replicate. They replicate scopes and they support each other. That's my reason. And the second reason is that Active Directory integrated DHCP servers are able to register IP addresses in Active Directory DNS. That's why I'm always using only Windows Server AD integrated DHCP. On MikroTiks, we do DHCP relay to the centralized to DHCP service. So that's why I cannot answer this question. And I'm not managing MikroTiks at branch offices myself. So we have dedicated guy for this. Maybe if I can do it very quickly, say, can I enable DHCP snooping in MikroTik cloud query routers? Answer in check language. Можете поволити на роторах мікротик, поступуйте, отежите, bridge, виберете most. Поличко DHCP snooping. So as you might see, there is some option on MikroTiks. Are you happy?
Yeah, really happy. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So in Kali, ERP spoofing is performed with command line like this, but also you could use additional tools. For example, I have used BetterCap and EtherCap. We will try some of those tools there in my checklist. For example, EtherCap, if you run it with capital G option, it should perform DHCP spoofing, but it never actually worked for me. Let's see how ERP spoofing works. Actually works on Kali. Oh, not in Kali, in Kane. So please do what? Go to attacker machine. In attacker machine, double check if you have the disabled defender. Because my defender is totally disabled by renaming executable. So please double check if defender is disabled, I mean real-time protection. And then launch Kane. And also launch Wireshark. It says firewall enabled. No firewall, please. So Kane and Wireshark. First, let's configure Kane. In Kane, go to Sniffer, Sniffer hosts, and activate promiscuous mode. So switch network card to promiscuous mode and rescan the network to double check if all the hosts are here. From what I see, all the hosts are here. Kali, the main controller, Windows 8.